Children learn more from what we are than from what we teach them. And I say this from my personal experience. Being the mother of a teenager, I've faced situations where I've been short of words or short of ideas to effectively communicate to my son. And I'm sure a lot of you face these dilemmas. And so for the benefit of all my viewers, as also for my own benefit, my guest tonight is a personal development trainer and a parent educator. Carmen Benton has been educating children and their parents for the last 20 years. As an expert parent educator, Carmen has been drawing on her personal experience and latest research to help parents who are struggling to keep up with the demands of raising a child in the 21st century. My first question is, and it's really coming from my heart, is communicating with teenagers. I find that very challenging to communicate with my son, to make him open up, to discuss things and come to a place where we can exchange. How do you make them talk?
The most important step is just to listen. Mm-hmm. So many teenagers that I work with say, no one's listening. So if you want them to talk, first of all, you need to listen. Many children are fearful of the consequences, of the control from the parents, and all of these things are preventing the actual open communication. Mm-hmm. So if the first step was to listen, listening means to listen without interrupting,
right,
without judging, without giving commands, mm-hmm, without lecturing. Listening is about allowing someone to say something that you might not want to hear.
Okay. Yeah. That's an important aspect for them to start talking.
Yeah.
That's powerful, absolutely. The issues teenagers go through are so many, but mainly I feel that they are so much under pressure about everything, about studies, about their appearance, about fitting in, and so many other issues. How do you address these different issues with them when you see them go through these things? And it's kind of hurtful for you. You go through the pain that they go through, but it's very difficult to address.
So the point really is, we want them to go through this pain. Mm-hmm. We actually don't want to prevent it. I think when I'm a mother as well, and it's very easy to want to prevent your child's pain, but if we think of pain like a muscle, the more you work it, the stronger it gets. So you need to work these muscles through teenage years, through your age of individualization, which is what's happening as you're moving through adolescence. Mm-hmm. So you work this muscle so that when you need it as a 20-year-old, 30-year-old, it's strong, and it gets stronger the more you use it. So what's really happening with their pressure is it's still forms of emotion. It's anxiety, it's nervousness, it's about fitting in and about feeling judged again and feeling that I don't belong. Mm-hmm. So what we want to do with our children is acknowledge what they're going through and not try and fix it again. So we have to sort of see that maybe their issue is homework, huge issue in Dubai, a very common teenage concern because the schooling is starting to really require a lot more of them than I think happened for some of us in the past.
Right.
This pressure is actually linked to some of their executive functioning skills they don't have, like time management, like being planned, like being organised, like following a schedule, like being able to regulate their emotions. And these are linked to their prefrontal cortex, or the part of their brain still under development.
Another big issue that all parents are facing in this digital age is keeping our kids away from all the gaming and computers and everything to do with electronics. How do we go about that?
Well, the interesting thing for parents is to understand that this is their way of socializing. I mean, it wasn't mine. Yeah. So this is the new way of socializing. So their friends are really communicating with them via that social media. Now, what many parents do is they start with their control. I'm really worried because I don't know where you are, and I'm not sure that you're getting on top of your homework. So I know what I'll do. I'll keep your phone. I'll take your phone off you, and that will enable you to get your homework done and not be distracted. What actually happens, therefore, is that you've just taken their social group away from them, and that brings on another whole list of problems like anxiety. I feel excluded. I'm not keeping up with what's happening. Now I'm going to be left out. So we've actually contributed to a lot more of their problems again, What we need to do is teach them how to navigate this technological highway that they're on. They don't know. They don't actually have good limits and boundaries for themselves because they're a teenager. We need to help them understand cause and effect. Like, what happens if I embarrass somebody online? About making sure we don't reveal, we have to teach them not to reveal their address, their location, to teach them some of that safety and cyber safety and security to protect their identity, not to perhaps post images that they're not going to want anyone to see in the next 5 years, because once out there, it's out there. And to be very mindful that what you say and do can be used against you. And so we have to guide them much more than just punish and discipline and control.
I think the whole digital age is also so new for us that as parents we need to learn so many things for us to pass that knowledge to our kids.
And then we go back to the communication that we started with. So then we need to have open dialogue and communication. I think we also have to put limits and boundaries on with the IT, because the teenagers don't have good limits and boundaries themselves. So they will be using it all through the night. They don't. They can start using their computer games, and it can be addictive. We can hear about teenagers becoming addictive. So we do need to do some parenting, which is not making us popular. But is actually
we can't be their
limits.
friends always. We are parents at the end of the day, and we should stay that. Right?
That's right.
At times when we are putting boundaries, we also face aggression.
Yeah, we do.
How do we handle that? And I think every parent goes through that.
Again, we're talking about a teenager. We can't deny that there is that puberty time going through. That's a big testosterone surge, or there's some female changes that are happening. So this is actually really starting to influence mood, and it's starting, we hear about teenagers being moody. So we have to be aware. I think that the key for us as parents is just awareness. Let's learn about this age that we're parenting. So I think it's important to teach teenagers how to feel. So we are talking about an emotion. So anger and aggression. Anger is an emotion, and aggression is the outcome of that anger. So do children know how to manage their anger? Do they know how to calm down? Do they know what's happening to them? Do they understand that their nervous system is ignited? Do they understand what is the way to calm themselves down so they're not angry? So we're going to teach them how to feel. So we're going to say this, not at the time, but after the event. That was anger. What triggered you? What was the cause of your anger? Did your anger make it right up to a red zone, or did you make it to sort of the orange light on the traffic signal? If you're at the orange light on the traffic signal before you've truly gone to explosion, you actually have a moment where you could pause enough to look at ways to calm yourself back down. That is your job, you're capable of doing that. Many teenagers almost feel victim to their emotions. I don't know I can calm down. It sort of takes me over. And so it's a case of, again, coaching them, well, actually, no, you are in control of your emotions. They are happening to you, and you are able to teach yourself calming techniques and tools.
So be more mindful, what you were talking about before we started shooting.
Yeah, so it's about learning how to become more mindful and more present in this moment, to be more aware that what you think will help ignite how you feel. So therefore, if you keep thinking thoughts about being harmed by other people, something that didn't work out for you, some form of frustration, then your anxiety is going to move up into an angry scale. And what do you do with that? How do you calm that down? What do you do to calm yourself down?
How do you direct that emotion to something else?
Yeah,
Great. I mean, it's a topic that we can keep talking about, but we just have a few minutes. So last but not the least, as parents, what are the 5 things we must do to have that open communication and keep all the channels free and open between our teenagers and us?
I have to just start with connection. So it's a relationship. Parenting is just a relationship. So what do you do together that's fun? So if you've got a good connection, then you must be enjoying each other's company. There must be something that you do that you find that's enjoyable. And we need to look at how often we're actually enjoying each other's company. I think the second thing is really about listening. Listening and not just jumping in. The next thing is coaching and teaching them about how to handle and manage their own emotions so that we don't keep doing it for them. And then I really think it's about gaining independence. What are we as parents doing for them that they could be doing themselves? We are actually still doing a lot for them. I think some of the children in Dubai, I learn, are actually well looked after, and therefore not gaining as many of the independent skills as is needed. Sometimes you need to not just be their friend but be their parent, not be giving the popular vote. Help them actually have a good schedule, sleep well, eat well. We need to sort of encourage more rather than command. That's what I'll say.
And I think we are the biggest role models for them. So, have a great relationship with ourselves, our partners, and I think that helps really having a great relationship with our kids.
Be the role model.
Yeah, be the role
absolutely.
model. Thank you so much. I think it was so empowering. I'm sure my viewers loved it. Anybody who has a teenager would definitely connect with it. So thank you so much for coming on the show.
My pleasure, thank you.
Some wonderful insights by Carmen that I'm sure will go a long way in helping all the parents watching the show. And as a mother myself, I believe that we should treat our children as though as they are already the person that they are capable of becoming.
Na, 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 na.